Hello and welcome to the 7th experiment of the Web Technology Lab, which is PHP super global variables. So I'm going to use super global variables get and post method. Basically, $sign followed by an underscore get post is our super global variables. So let us jump into the question here, where I'm supposed to design a simple shopping cart. So choose shirt options, provide shirt options, whether a t-shirt or a hoodie, clothing item, quantity, size and color, and when I click next, I'm supposed to move to the next page. So let us see. I provided a bit of HTML code here. I'm using action as a PHP echo server PHP self, which basically the page itself becomes a file, and our method is post, which is highly recommended. So we have a shirt type. I'm creating a checkbox where I'm giving it the same name as it will have the same name since it's a checkbox, and values are different. Here we have a t-shirt, here we have a hoodie, and for clothing items would be a radio button, let's say women's clothing, and children's clothing. So this is a very important value as we'll be using this. The name and value fields are very important in PHP as we'll be using them further. And we have quantity. Again, we create an input box for quantity and a drop down box for small, medium, L, XL, provided with the values inside. We have color. You can choose the color as well. So I've given a few color options. And finally, I create an input submit button and I give it a name next. So let's take a look at how this works. Here's our PHP code. So you can use the isSet function. Basically, isSet is when next, like if you press this button, the button next, these actions will take place. So we have using super global variable post s type, which was the name for our checkbox, and if that is equal to t-shirt, that is the value. This is the value we provide to the checkboxes, and we provide the cost as 500 as it's given here, and for hoodie it is 750. So we use this using the session $_session is important since we are going to be using sessions, and we need the variables to be preserved over the web pages, over the PHP pages that we are creating. So we create our PHP variables here, and these are super global variables with the name that we provided, and basically the data will be stored in these variables. And here we are calculating cost, which is basically the S cost, that is 500 or 750 based on our selection into the quantity of our item that we've selected. So I'm using a header function here, which is basically to force change the URL, and that will happen only if the next is set. So that is, if I click this, the force change URL will take place, and it's going to locate to address.php. So let's have a look at our address, where it's basically customer details. So it's a normal form yet again, and we're going to be entering these few details and also a certain extra shipping cost. So this is our form where we accept all the details from the user, and if set continue, that is on continue, this data should be added to session variables. So we create session variables for all this data that we are collecting from the user. Finally, if you've used shipping and you provided certain values for shipping, that is values express and standard. For express it will be 200 and for standard it will be 50. Similarly, we create a variable called ship cost, which will store the shipping cost, and we force change the URL to order summary.php, which is the next page in our experiment. So this is the third page, where basically I'm displaying all the data that I've collected from the user using echo, and also I'm creating a table for items, item description, quantity and amount. So I'm going to be using the normal table tag of the HTML, and since I'm supposed to be using the variables from PHP, I'm going to provide in the cells, I'm going to provide the PHP tag, and inside I'm going to echo the session variable so that they're displayed in the table as such. And finally, I'm going to have a button to confirm all of it. This is just to show, this is just for presentation purposes. So in the end, very important method is to use session unsert and session destroy so that our variables are not accessible anymore. And let's have a look at how this executes. So we're going to use a FileZilla client for this. We're using our FileZilla client. We've copied all our files that we expect to be run. So I'm going to provide Experiment-7, and let's have a look at this. I'm supposed to type my server and my database name. Yeah, and this gives us this automatically relocates to our server in FileZilla. Since we've already copied our files, this experiment will be run. So this is my experiment here. We choose our shirt options. Let's say we have a t-shirt, easy calculations. Men's t-shirt, quantity should be, let's say, 2. So size, color red, we can choose our color what we want, we can choose the size that we want. So on submit, you can see we are redirected to the address page where, let's say, we're going to enter some values, just some random values. Let's say my first name is Ron, and we enter some address. And city, again, something, say something, a zip code, phone number, and finally an email address, a valid email address. Let's say add. So this is something, and let's say we have express of 200. We submit this, and this is our review order page where name, address, zip code, phone number, email, and these are the items. The men's t-shirt 2000, which is correct, and shipping, express shipping for 2 and 200. So total is 1200, and this is it. This is the final output of our experiment. So this brings us to the end of 7th experiment. The output has been verified. Thank you.